Hello all, and welcome back to Short and Smoky. Now, I know it's been a little while since we've had one of these, but I'm kind of falling behind on some of my other editing, so I need, something quick to put up. That way I could have a couple extra weeks to catch up. But if you are new to this show, or it's just been so long you don't remember what this is just a short cigar review series. Nothing special, no long conversations like in the smoking hour. Just pretty much get right to the point, cut into the cigar we got, and I'll give you a quick little rating on it, tell you what I think. Now, today we are smoking the Oliva Serie G Belicoso. I have not rated this cigar, but it is on up there for just one of my go-to, all around favorites. It's not one of my highest, I would say, rated, but it's just a good little everyday smoke to me. I have rated the Maduro in the Serie G, but this is the first time I'm actually rating the Cameroon wrapper. This is the standard Oliva Serie G. So, anyways, we're just going to go ahead, cut right into this, and let's get smoking. All right, so right off the bat, getting some creamy notes in there, kind of some little bit of oakiness, and almost tastes like cereal in a way, like some Cheerios, some kind of oat. Just a little bit of coffee, a little bit of chocolate in there, not too overwhelming, and just the slightest hint of spice. Just maybe like a little touch of white pepper. A little bit of cinnamon in there too. Definitely getting some cinnamon, sweet spice in there. But anyways, we're going to go ahead, get into the first third, and we'll see you after that. All right, so that's about the end of the first third there. Uh, the ash just has dropped on me just a couple of minutes ago. So, construction might not be so great on this. Not really sure. I have to see how it goes through the rest of the cigar. But as for the taste right now, absolutely beautiful. Very sweet. I'm pairing this actually with some uh, Swiss milk chocolate truffles from Walmart, and of course my go-to fig bars. And the truffles, they're kind of bringing out some sweet notes, but the fig bars are making this so much more nutty and creamy, really bringing out a sweetness in there. I mean, almost like vanilla ice cream. I think I said that on one of my other short and smokies. I don't remember which cigar that was. It might have been the Oliva Connecticut Reserve. Really don't remember. But yeah, I mean, I haven't taken a bite of that in maybe about 5 minutes, and I'm still tasting that creamy vanilla on here, just that extra sweetness added in there. So, other than that, still getting a little bit of pepper, just the slightest bit though, right in the tip of the tongue. Still tasting that cinnamon. A little more cedar is coming through now, though. I said earlier it was kind of oaky, and that was pretty light, but now there is a lot more cedar coming in. And other than that, though, uh, no real change in the taste. The burn has been pretty decent for the most part. Kind of had a little weird spot on there, but I think that might have been my fault from the initial light up. But it's kind of worked itself out now. So yeah, as of now, still going pretty strong with this. We'll come back after the second third is finished, and I'll let you know what I think then. All right, it's about the end of the second third there. Uh, Burning through this thing pretty quick, actually. Now, the burn has honestly gotten just a little bit worse here in the second third. I've had to touch it up uh, a time or two, but it's still really not that bad. As for the flavors, much sweeter. The more I get into this thing, it gets even sweeter, especially with the fig bar. Getting more notes of coffee and cream as compared to the first third. And again, the cedar is getting a little bit stronger. Still those notes of sweet spice in there. Just the slightest bit stronger of the pepper note in there. Right on the tip of your tongue, you can just feel just that little bit of bite, but it's not strong at all. Fairly mild cigar, very mild cigar actually. Um, Might be a little bit too mild, but I've actually had a kind of a bad experience again here recently. I had a little bit too strong of a cigar here just a couple weeks ago, so I'm trying to stick on the mild side for a few weeks till I get back, ready for the harder stuff. But yeah, like I said, just definitely a lot sweeter now, a lot more cream, kind of some nougat in there too, and almost like a hint of not really like a maple syrup, but just some type of sweet syrup in there. But yeah, still a very enjoyable cigar. Only got a little bit left till we get to the end of the final third, but we'll be right back after that. All right, I think that's about all I'm going to get out of this cigar today. Again, I've been smoking the Oliva Serie G Belicoso, which is a 5-inch by 52 ring gauge Belicoso, which is their torpedo box pressed Robusto size cigar. Gave it a straight cut, and this was $6.50 at Robin Hood Tobacco in Winston. And I've been letting that age about a good 3 months now, and we are smoking at Westwood Park again in Mount Airy, North Carolina. So yeah, this was a pretty enjoyable cigar for $6.50. Really can't beat this. Just a great little everyday smoke. For the band, of course, it's nothing special, but it is just that you know standard Oliva band. I give pretty much a 4 to all of them. They are what they are. They're not too fancy, but you know it makes the statement. You know what this is. This is an Oliva. That's a recognizable band. And as for the appearance, I gave a pretty good 9 to. The only reason I knocked a point off is there was just the slightest little bit of a chip in the wrapper up toward the band, which I'll get into more here in a little bit. And for the price, I went ahead and gave a solid 10 to. Yeah, it had a couple little flaws, but for $6.50, and I believe they sell these for, you know, two for $12, you really can't beat it. Draw, perfect 10. Gave this a straight cut, as I said, as I do with all my torpedoes. Uh, Perfect draw on it. The burn, so I said earlier I had a couple issues with the burn. Uh, Come to find out, I think that had more to do with the construction. So I only knocked a point off for the burn. I did have to touch it up a couple times. The first, I believe, was my own fault. And then I gave it one more touch up that I think was just due to a little bit of a sloppy burn. But as it got toward the band, I realized there was a little bit of cracking in the wrapper right underneath the band. So I guess it was just getting kind of a weird draw in certain points depending on where I'd be holding it. So I knocked off just a couple points on the construction, gave the burn a 9, construction an 8, and other than that, really had no other issues out of this. Uh, it dropped the ash kind of early. I usually like to see at least an inch get on there, but for a cigar this small, really not too bad. Smoke output gave a good solid 9 too. I've had better, but still pretty smoky cigar. Strength, I gave a decent 9. I mean, this is a mild cigar, but it is a little bit stronger. That Cameroon wrapper, is usually typically pretty sweet. That and that Nicaraguan filler it actually bumps up that strength just the slightest bit. And so it's not quite as strong as I like it to be, but it's far from being too strong. So only a point off there. And for the flavors, you know, as I said on the first third, we had some smooth notes of cream, oak, some oats in there with hints of chocolate, coffee, white pepper, and an underlying spice. Into the second third, had a lot more sweetness, especially when paired with the fig bar, and a lot more cream and coffee, stronger notes of cedar, more sweet spice like that cinnamon coming through. That was getting a lot stronger. And then into the final third, got a little bit of a sweet almond flavor, just kind of a nuttiness, still plenty of cream, a lot of nougat coming in. And on the very end, just started to very slightly get just a little bit bitter, a little bit of taste of espresso in there, but nothing too bad at all. So, for the most part, it hit on all the flavors I like, that chocolate, that cream, a little bit of nuttiness in there. But not quite as much as I like. I like a good chocolatey, coffee-ish cigar, so only knocked off a point there for the flavor, because again, it's my personal preference. So a 9 for flavor. The body, I did knock a couple points off because it was pretty much the same flavors throughout the entire cigar. And again, it's a very short cigar, only 5 inches long. So I'm not expecting a whole lot of flavor changes throughout just those 5 inches. But again, only knocked a couple points off there. So an 8 for body. Smoked this entire thing, of course, giving it a 5 for the amount smoked. Only took me about an hour to smoke this cigar. Pretty short, very fast burning cigar. Felt like it wasn't no time before I was getting through each third. So, of all that, our final score for the Oliva Serie G Belicoso is a 90. That's kind of on par with all the rest of my Olivas. They usually average right around 90 for me. They're not my favorite cigar out there, but put it this way, I've never had a bad one. Of any Oliva across the board, I have never had a bad one. I still have yet to smoke the Serie V Melanio Maduro. I had one in my humidor. It cracked on me somehow. I don't know. So I'm going to have to wait a little longer on that one. But I've smoked just about every other line of theirs, and to this day, never had a bad one. So, this one holds up as well. Good solid 90, not my highest rated, but definitely far from my lowest. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Short and Smoky. Get back to my regular programming after this. Just needed a little break so I could catch up on some editing. And, be back to On the Road with Vincent, midnight movie reviews, and of course, more smoking hours will be coming soon. So I shall see you all next time, and stay smoky, my friends.